All right, good morning. My name is Vahid Chitsaz, part of the Elite Mastermind group. This is the channel where we talk about Dr. Hill's principles and philosophies. This morning, I'm privileged and I'm honored to have Mr. Sidharth Shah with us. He's a phenomenal guy. You guys might want to take some notes from what he's about to teach you. He is a Think and Grow Rich instructor and PMA instructor. He's working out of India, and he's taking this responsibility of spreading Dr. Hill's philosophies and principles all over the world. I've had the privilege of knowing this individual for like 8-9 months now, multiple conversations, and he's a powerful guy. He reads, he's an avid reader, like crazy reader, almost a couple of books. I think one book per day. You're doing a crazy job. So Sid, without any further ado, I'd like for us to know you a little bit more. So I probably butchered that introduction. You have done a lot more than just that. But go ahead and share with us. Let us know where you're coming from, what's going on, and I got a lot of questions for you, brother.
Yeah. So good morning, and thank you so much, Vahid, for having me on your channel. And I really want to appreciate and acknowledge you for your time and for all the viewers who are live right now. And so my name is Sidharth Shah, and so we represent the Napoleon Hill Foundation in India. We have got the exclusive coaching rights to coach and train on these world-class success principles, which has transformed millions of lives all across the world. So this is my journey so far. I'm the CEO and founder of this company. Our company is called Think and Grow Rich Academy, and we are specializing in coaching and training on these world-class principles of Think and Grow Rich.
I love it. Sid, how did you start? And I just put your Instagram handle on Instagram right here so everybody could see it if you guys want to go ahead and ask questions. But specifically, Sid, how did you get started with Think and Grow Rich, and how long ago was it?
Yes, it's an interesting question. It's a pretty long journey. So as you rightly mentioned, I was an avid reader, and I used to read books during my chartered accountancy, during my master's in MBA, and I was more into the non-fiction kind of a guy. And I read many books on self-help and personal development. And whichever books I read, they were referring that one of their books to read is Think and Grow Rich. You know, every author, be it Indian, be it international, they were all referring to this book called Think and Grow Rich. And when I was in my first year MBA, I was going through the library and looking at the various books. Suddenly, this book, Think and Grow Rich, just fell on my lap. Okay. And yeah, so that's the latest edition of Think and Grow Rich. Yeah. But that time, I mean, this was the book which I could afford to buy. It was 100 rupees pricing. This is the pocket version of Think and Grow Rich. So I got hand of this book, and this was the first version of Think and Grow Rich which I read. And of course, I've read almost all the versions after that. And I couldn't stop reading this book, Think and Grow Rich. I've been reading it even today daily. And so that's where the journey, the connect happened with Think and Grow Rich. And it has been a wonderful journey in the last 2.5, 3 years. We have coached more than 10,000 participants. Most of them are entrepreneurs, students, executives, working women, you name it. You know, every person in the world requires these principles of success to imbibe in their life and to make a real difference. So that's been a very, very eventful journey. I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited for the future.
Definitely, I love it. And if for anybody who speaks any dialects of Indian, we're gonna definitely have Sid talk to us in his native language, and I think he's gonna send a message, because India is a big country. A tremendous amount of entrepreneurs are coming out of it. A lot of uprising entrepreneurs are coming out of it. A lot of individuals with a lot of excellent skills that I think we could all use and benefit. And what's crazy is the population. And it's just, it could definitely, with the help of you and spreading the word of Think and Grow Rich and Dr. Hill's philosophies, is going to just catapult them to the next level. So Sid, if you have to get real, practical, what are some of the top 2 or 3 principles of success that you have personally utilized from Think and Grow Rich so far in your life that you could share with us?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question. It's a very good question, Vahid. That so there are 13 steps to riches. If you look at the edition of Think and Grow Rich, there are 13 steps to riches. But it's not just we focus on these 13 steps. we imbibe in that the 17 principles of success, which are mentioned in the erstwhile book by Napoleon Hill, by Dr. Hill, in the Law of Success. So it's
Correct.
a combination of 17 principles and 13 steps to riches. But I would say that it's a difficult question to say a couple of them, but yes, my favorites and which has made a real difference in my journey so far, I could say the first one is applied faith. Applied faith principle, auto-suggestion principle, and the second step to riches, which is faith. So that has made a real big difference in my journey. I've applied this principle it has worked like magic. And sometimes when you say that you can't, the miracle is something which you cannot explain in logic, and that's a miracle for you. So, but this particular principle is like a magic principle for me, which is the applied faith principle. Learning from adversity and defeat. Oh wow, that principle is so powerful, so powerful. Where we say that every adversity has got a seed of benefit in it. And if we have that kind of a thought process, I think life is a roller coaster. Hurdles, obstacles are going to be a part of the game. But you just come up with these principles being working for you. And so I could go on and on and on. Pleasing personality, amazing principle. The 30 traits to pleasing personality. PMA, super principle. You just cannot, that's the top riches out of the 12 riches of life. So yes, Vahid, I could just go on and on and on with all the principles being allowed.
You almost mentioned all the principles already. No, but what I noticed is this, Sid, that you like teamwork, you have a pleasing personality, you like to get along in it. But what I learned about you so far in my short period of time is that you are open-minded. You are open to new channels, new ideas, new methods of conducting business. And I think for entrepreneurs today, in 2019 and coming up, I mean, we're in the second half, we're almost done with 2019. I mean, so many people are closed-minded, but they seek success. They want to be successful. They want to be rich. They want to make money. They want to be wealthy. But when it comes to actual practicality, they're not open-minded, meaning they don't take suggestions of people that are successful. So let me ask you a question. How important is mentorship in Dr. Hill's principles and philosophies? Do you think we can make it on our own, or would we expedite this process if we had a mentor just like yourself? You're mentoring a lot of people, especially in India, Mumbai, and being able to get them to the next level that they need to go. How important is mentorship?
Oh yeah, this is a very relevant question in the 21st century. And you and I face this dilemma when participants ask me about this particular process. So you mentioned about having an open mind, all right? So if you look at the 12 riches of life, which Dr. Hill talks of, the 9th richness is having an open mind on all subjects at all times, okay? So this is the actual word which Dr. Hill mentions, that having an open mind in all subjects at all times, okay? So this is one of the richness of life. If you really want to truly think and grow rich, so you have to have an open mind. When you talk of mentorship or coaching or some kind of a counseling, people who have that know-it-all attitude, I would want to ask them that if you look at any of the top players in the world, any field, be it sports, be it musicians, be it athletes, be it professionals, be it CEOs, be it executives, every person needs a sounding board. Every person needs a coach or a mentor to tell them, oh, hey, this is your blind spot, because I don't know my blind spot. Okay, I cannot see this blind spot. So even I have a coach, and he also keeps me accountable all the time. So you just cannot go to the next level, cross the bar, if you're just living in your comfort zone and hey, I've got a know-it-all attitude, I can do it on my own. That's the biggest blind spot which a person can have in the 21st century. So I would like to question people who think that, okay, I can do it on themselves. Good luck to them. But it's going to be longer. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be much more arduous journey for them. Why don't you follow the principles who's coaching you and mentoring, which has been tried and tested, and make your journey, your probability of success much more stronger and powerful. Yeah.
I love it. Now, let me ask you a question. I know I'm biased because I'm a big fan of Dr. Hill's principles and philosophies and materials and content. How much of this book do other coaches, other gurus, other individuals that are doing mentorship are using, because I see that between the lines a lot. I think, in my personal opinion, now your opinion might be different and the audience opinion might be, but I believe this is the first and the last book that anybody needs to read for at least for the first 4, 5, $10 million that you want to acquire. I think if you want to have riches in your life in all aspects, whether it would be finance, health, whatever, it could be in relationship, whatever. I think this is the first and the last book that they need to pick. What is your opinion on it?
I totally agree with you. And this particular question always comes up to me that, oh, it's a 82-year-old book. How is it valid in the 21st century? And, I always say that you know about the Quran, you know about the Bible, you know about the Gita. How many years old are they? I mean, some of the principles are lifelong. You just cannot ignore them. And so even I do a lot of programs right now. I also attend a lot of programs and trainings to keep myself aware of what's the trend in the industry, what's happening in the industry. And I see that it's almost like what we say in India, old wine in new bottle. So it's just the old flavor, and it's a new flavor which they have given. It's the old thing, it's a new flavor which they have given up. Okay. If you look at any new principle of any new age guru, I respect them a lot. I just don't want to name anybody of them. God bless them for whatever good work which they are doing, spreading their light. But if you look at what Dr. Hill has done, 20 years of research, man. I mean, who has got so much of patience to research 25,000 people of researching and getting into that core without having any guarantee of the returns? I don't think so any person has devoted his life so much to get the principles of success outlined. And that is the real power of Think and Grow Rich, my friend. So this is what it is. And if you understand, you take up any new principle, I can immediately collapse it to the old existing principles of success or the 13 steps to riches. So that's my bias as well. But to each his own, there are new styles of doing the coaching and training. There are new examples. But the book which you are saying, this is the classic, this is the latest edition. This has got all the annotations and updated examples linking all the 13 steps to riches to the 21st century. So people can really connect to what's happening in the industry. So I think they are evergreen. I mean, 100 years down the line, I can see my grandson and your grandson having an interview live and doing the same principles for the world. So I see they are evergreen principles for me.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's just, listen, old school stuff works. If it didn't work, it wouldn't have got here. But you mentioned a good question. And one of these big gurus that we all know, I'm not going to mention names, but he's been reading the book for many, many, many decades. Here is the difference. Dr. Hill invested his time doing research and finding out the principles and seeking it out. But if you've been reading Dr. Hill's work, it's different. You've been getting the juice of the juice and the best of the best, but you didn't put the time to go research it on your own. So it's a different story. It's like me playing basketball for 20, 30 years and learn and interviewing all the athletes myself, or just reading a book about, or just watching Kobe Bryant. It's a different story, different way of conducting it. So I don't think that many people have taken the time, like Dr. Hill has taken the time, to research these success principles for a couple of decades of his life. That's a big deal. And you mentioned a good point, without any compensation. I mean, I don't know that many people today. I don't even know if I can do it. If you come to me and you're like, Vahid, I need you to take the next 20, 30 years and I want you to reinvent the success principles. I don't know how I'm going to have that conversation with my wife. Say I'm going to go without compensation for next 20, 30 years. She's going to probably throw me out in the street like, go do it on your own. Go do it on your own. Right? So that, to me, that's the power of Think and Grow Rich, because the work has been done. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
just
to me,
to add to this point,
amazing.
Just to add to this point, what you mentioned, the fourth principle of success, which is going the extra mile. All right. When Dr. Hill talks of that, this is one principle which can eliminate, terminate, and wipe out your competition. These are the actual words: eliminate, terminate, and wipe out your competition. He talks of the law of compensation, which you just mentioned. The law of compensation says it's the law of nature. You got to give first and then you can expect to get. We just want to get without giving first, okay? And that's the real powerful thing which you just mentioned, Vahid. The law of compensation does work. You know, it's nothing. I mean, the kind of work which you are doing, Vahid, you never know when a sea of good things are going to come back to you without even you being able to handle all this stuff, because you're spreading the light of Dr. Hill. So that's a wonderful job which you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Listen, I'm just so privileged and so honored. I really think I'm a lucky guy. I think I'm really, really lucky. I don't know how to figure out, but in my phone, I have about 200 to 300 coaches' phone numbers and individuals who are avid reader of Think and Grow Rich. And these individuals have applied the principle. They're not just readers of Think and Grow Rich. They're applying it. And just to have that kind of a caliber of individuals, that you could just, the fact that I have their contact and I can reach out one day and potentially seek out their advice, their help, their counsel, just, I feel lucky to be blessed by that. I mean, I don't need to get compensated for that. And we haven't got compensated. My compensation is in a different form, where I wish that 12, 13 years ago, or maybe 20 years ago, when I was growing up, I wish that somebody had these type of contents out there where I could just access it for free. Didn't need that much commitment from my side. I just needed to consume and apply and become successful for myself and change other people's lives. That wasn't available back then. Now it is. So I know that we're going to change a lot of people's views, mindset, and financially they're going to be on a different level because we're putting that. I mean, look at the work that you do. I see your workshop. You're in, out. I mean, you're doing so. I see a lot of younger generation you're coaching. I see a lot of people that are executives coming to you that they want to take their company to the next level. I mean, you're doing all that. And sometimes I convert the currency, the tickets that you're charging, and it's almost nothing. I mean, that's just literally nothing. I don't even know how you guys conduct that, but I know you guys doing so much good. Just like you said, what goes around comes around. You got to be a go-giver, not a go-getter. Go-getters don't get that far. Go-givers do get far. So I agree with that, Sid, 100%.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So as you rightly mentioned, so we are in a process of touching people's lives, and people's lives could be touched. They could be entrepreneurs. I mean, primarily this book is written with the aspect of the money in the bank. Okay, people want money, and that's a very important richness. I mean, I would say that money is very important in your life. It's as important as oxygen in your life. And this book was written with the aspect of having money in the bank. So we cannot just ignore money. So we tap entrepreneurs, we tap executives, we look at professionals, we look at students, we look at working women, very important aspect. We look at housewives, we look at the senior citizens. Every person wants to think and grow rich. And when people ask me, oh, how is it possible to just think and grow rich? And they become skeptical and they say, what is it all about? You know, is it a gimmick, or is it a new scam which you have started, or what is it all about? I say, this is what it is. You know, if you really want to understand Think and Grow Rich, the word think is repeated about 56 times in the book Think and Grow Rich. Okay. Whereas the word action is repeated about 79 times in the book of Think and Grow Rich. So if you really want to understand Think and Grow Rich, it's not just about thinking, but it's about taking the action, unrelentless action, massive and persistent action towards your goals. That's real power of Think and Grow Rich, you know. So I really look at from that perspective. I just don't look at skeptics. My aim is to create about 100,000 ambassadors of Think and Grow Rich at whatever price that they are at in India. And then it's a 1.3 billion population in India. 1.3 billion population. Imagine if we are in a process, if we can make India think and grow rich, I mean, we could do whatever is possible for us. Yeah, so that's the vision.
You just got me excited. Monday morning, you got me all excited. 1.3 billion people. That's crazy. So listen, I promised a lot of the audiences that you're going to do it in native language also too. I want you to take 2 minutes, if you don't mind, please. Tell us why Think and Grow Rich is very, very important, especially for all of our audience that speak different Indian language, dialects, and from different parts of India. Just take the moment, just tell us why Think and Grow Rich is very, very important, and how could they possibly get in touch with you?
Sure. So, नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम सिद्धार्थ शाह है एंड मैं सीईओ हूँ थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच एकेडमी का। नेपोलियन हिल बहुत ही फेमस लेखक है। उन्होंने एक बढ़िया किताब लिखी थी 1937 में जिनका नाम था थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच, और इसका हिंदी रूपांतर भी है अवेलेबल, सोचो और अमीर बनो, जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं। एंड हम प्रोग्राम्स करते हैं, स्पेशल प्रोग्राम्स करते हैं यही थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच के प्रिंसिपल्स के ऊपर, हिंदी में करते हैं, लोकल लैंग्वेजेस में करते हैं, जहाँ पे आपका कोई भी गोल हो, पैसे का गोल हो, बिजनेस का गोल हो, हेल्थ का गोल हो, रिलेशनशिप का गोल हो, आपका कोई और भी कोई ट्रैवल का गोल हो, रिटायरमेंट का गोल हो, सोशल कॉज का कुछ गोल हो, कोई भी गोल हो, तो हम गोल को आज कैसे आप अचीव कर पाएंगे, ये ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड, ये पूरे विश्व भर में ये प्रिंसिपल्स यूज किए गए हैं, और ये शॉर्ट प्रिंसिपल्स आपको सक्सेस देने के लिए है। हम उसको आपके लैंग्वेज में लेके आए हैं, आपके कंट्री सिटी में हम लेके आ सकते हैं, आपके शहर में लेके आ सकते हैं। सिर्फ आपको हमको संपर्क करना है, तो यू कैन ऑलवेज लॉग इन टू आवर वेबसाइट thinkandgrowrichacademy.com, और मेरा यहाँ पे इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल पे आप उसमें मैसेज दे सकते हैं। मेरा मोबाइल नंबर आप लिख सकते हैं 9820023589। मेरी टीम आपको कांटेक्ट कर सकती है अगर आप ये नंबर पे आप मैसेज डाल देंगे तो हम चाहते हैं कि आप ये इंटरनेशनल फॉर्मूला को आप अपनाएं और यूज करें। वी आर देयर टू सर्व यू। हम आपकी जिंदगी में कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हैं, आपके बिजनेस में कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हैं। आप तैयार हैं ये अपॉर्चुनिटी लेने के लिए? अगर हाँ, तो अब हमेशा आप तुरंत मुझे कांटेक्ट करिए एंड हमें संपर्क करिए। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत आभार आपका ये वीडियो देखने का। थैंक यू।
Brother Sid, thank you so much for spending this time with us today. I'm very, very excited to do a lot more. I know I had a lot more questions that I asked you. I want to dive into the principles and kind of one by one dissect them and kind of learn how you would go and apply them today in our real lives. So we're definitely looking forward to do more with you. I thank you for taking this time from your busy schedule and being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's my privilege. Thank you so much. Bye.